Topic 14, Nuclear Physics, Part 1, Structure of the Atom. Structure of the atom continued. Thomson model, named after the scientist J.J. Thomson, and his model precedes Rutherford's model. This Thomson model was called the plum pudding model, or the chocolate cookie dough. Could be described as a sphere of positive charge with corpuscles of negative charge. Here's a diagram of this model. This big sphere of positive charge, red in color, with these little negative charges being dotted about inside it. Structure of the atom. Now we look at Rutherford's model. Rutherford's model is based on the observations from his famous gold foil experiment. And here is a diagrammatic representation of the experimental setup that he used. First of all, there is this radioactive source, and he fired alpha particles from that source, firing at this very thin sheet of gold foil, presumably to be 1 or 2 atoms thick. After going through the gold foil, the alpha particles were scattered at different angles, and this fluorescent screen will get lit up by these alpha particles hitting it. And Rutherford had a rotatable microscope that he could rotate around the screen to observe these alpha particles. Here is another diagrammatic representation of the gold foil experiment. This is the source again, radioactive source, and alpha particles are fired out from it, hitting this gold foil, and the alpha particles will get scattered at different angles. Here is the microscope for observation. In front of it, there is this screen coated with zinc sulfide. Every time an alpha particle hits it, it will illuminate the screen. And you can look through this microscope to observe the illumination. With Thomson's atomic model as the underlying assumption, this is what Rutherford expected. He expected that these alpha particles would just go straight through the atom, undeviated. What Rutherford expected. The plum pudding model has a regular consistency. Rutherford expected all the fast-moving alpha particles to travel straight through. This is not what was observed. Results of gold foil experiment. There are 3 main results. Make sure you memorize them for exam purposes. The first one says most of the alpha particles went straight through. Second, some particles underwent some deflection, in other words, through some small angles. Number 3, a few particles were scattered through large angles. Based on Rutherford's findings, the structure of an atom is more like this. Here is this massive positively charged particle in the middle, and these are these little negatively charged particles surrounding it. Scattering of alpha particles by the atoms of a gold foil. And a gold foil was assumed to be 1 atom thick. And these are the alpha particles being fired at the gold foil. And this is the scattering pattern of these alpha particles. Here is a useful analogy. This ball represents an alpha particle being fired at this atom here. So as the ball rolls down the ramp, is aimed at climbing up this hill right in the middle. And you can imagine the scattering pattern of this ball as you keep rolling it down several times. Conclusions from Rutherford's findings. It was concluded that the atom consists of mostly empty space, and the atom contains a positively charged nucleus, which contains most of the mass of the atom. Rutherford's atomic model. As you can see, inside the atom is mostly empty space, with a nucleus in the middle and these tiny electrons on the outside. These pictures are for your interests only. You might be interested to know this.